This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in partnership with Empire Fight Store with the Hatton Gym here, and I'm joined by Chloe Watson. Strength and conditioning today. You just put on Instagram it's a love-hate relationship between you and the running machine, so you didn't enjoy it. Is that a fact?
No, I never enjoy it, but I enjoy boxing, so that's why it's a love-hate relationship. It's worth it in the end.
Love sport though. I mean, you know, we will talk about your stuff you do outside the ring. I did mention to you before the interview, the hiking up the mountain with your dad. You're very active, so fitness. I thought that would be sort of a love more than a hate relationship.
No, I do love it, but like I say, you know, you'd always love it after you've done it. It's not very enjoyable while you're doing it, but yeah, when you know you've done it and the hard work's in the bag, that's when you can say, yeah, I love it. Actually, it's all right.
Big, busy gym today. Everyone has got fight dates, it seems, other than Brad. Unfortunately, the hand injury has continued, and we'd like to see him back, perhaps in the spring or the summer, depending on when he's out. But yeah, good to have you active. We can't sort of talk about the fight yet because it's not really announced, but good to have something in the diary to start camp and strive towards.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I just want to be like as busy as possible this year. You know, just build on last year. Just keep building. You know, say it all the time, but just step by step. And I think that's what keeps it so exciting for me. You know, just one step at a time. And obviously, I've got the bigger picture in my head. I know exactly what it looks like. You know, it's why we're putting in the hard work. But you know, it's just step by step, and that's what I'm excited about this year. Just being busy.
Bigger picture, what is that exactly?
Obviously, you know, you want to be in the great fights. You want to be doing what Jonas-Shields and Natasha Jonas are all doing. Katie Taylor, of course. You know, you want to be doing what they're doing. You want to be winning world titles. You want to be inspiring other boxers on their way up. So yeah, that's the bigger picture for me.
Mentioned Natasha Jonas as well. There, I was with Joe Gallagher yesterday and saw Natasha in the gym. There are talks that she's looking to fight Jonas-Shields. How big is that fight in your eyes?
I think it's a great fight. Really good fight, yeah. Be a really interesting one. I think Tasha is obviously I think everyone's with me being from Liverpool as well. You know, I've followed Natasha from just before she went to the Olympics, and you know the stuff that she did last year, coming off the back, you know, with some of her defeats and draws, you know, that's an inspiring story in itself. Because like look at where she is now. She had a fantastic year, and to be honest, I think she's just getting better and better. So I think that fight is a really interesting one. It's something that I'll really be looking forward to watching.
You mentioned the bigger picture there as well, and you mentioned people like Katie Taylor and Natasha Jonas and those big female stars. But Natasha, obviously being from the same city which you are from as well, is she a role model to you?
Yeah, 100%. I've told the story before when she come into my school and she actually, you know, sat me that I didn't think. A lot of people were telling me, you know, like female boxing isn't really a thing, and the school actually got Natasha Jonas because she went to the same high school as me, so they brought it in. She explained to me, you know, like the path that she's on, you know, the journey that she's willing to take. And this was just before the 2012 Olympics. So yeah, that was a great conversation that I had, and obviously from then, you know, I put my own goals in place.
Obviously about yourself as well, you mentioned activity. I mean, activity last year for you, there was one fight that obviously was postponed, but you know, 3 fights in 2022. You came to the pro game the back end of 2021. Only one fight, obviously, when you turned pro in sort of November time, wasn't it, that you turned pro in 2021? So, you know, 3 fights out in 2022. So I'd say you have been pretty active, and that's probably the key at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, you know, that's something that I want to do. You know, and I think it's important for everyone on their professional journey to be as active at the beginning. Obviously, you know, turning over a professional, I want to get, you know, the most experience in as possible. So when I do step it up to these big fights, you know I'm ready for it.
We will talk about now your stuff outside the ring. You look at your Instagram, you've got a sort of a lavish lifestyle more than anything. I mean, out there in the Philippines for 2 weeks, swimming with whales and etc. Just talk to me about that. It was an extreme holiday.
Yeah, no, it was great. For me, I don't know whether I just can't sit still or what, but you know, I think I like to just make the best out of like every situation really. So if I'm getting 2 weeks off around Christmas, or you know, I've got some time to kill, you know, you'll find me going somewhere and just trying to make the most of whatever it is, whether that's, you know, the Philippines or hiking with my dad, like you mentioned before. But you know, the Philippines was great. You know, I went there with some of my friends who were actually travellers themselves, so they like knew where to go, what to do, type of thing. And I just like tagged along, and you know, it was a great 2 weeks. Obviously came back and refreshed now, and I'm looking forward to the year.
The swimming with whales. Talk to me a little bit about that. Go on. How was that? How was that like?
Yeah, that was good. Obviously, I think like I don't think about things until I actually do them. Obviously,
Yeah, because I mentioned something today, and you went, actually, if one of them actually did try and attack me, what would I do?
yeah, well, yeah. When you mentioned it, it kind of made sense, and it makes sense why people would have seen it and been a bit shocked. But obviously, at the time, I didn't really think. Obviously, that was a possibility. I just thought, oh, I'm going to go swim with the whale sharks. But no, yeah, that was a great experience. Obviously, it's not something you do every day. So, like I say, I like to make the best out of every situation. If I'm there and, you know, everyone, like, that's an option in the Philippines. It's obviously not an option in Manchester. Yeah, you'll catch me doing it.
What was the food like? That's the question I asked you as well. That's the thing that I'd have gone there for the food, I think.
You'd have gone there for the food? Oh, really? Are you being serious? Really?
Like exotic food. That's strange, but I think the food over there is lovely.
I know what you mean. Well, to be honest, most of my friends who I was with, they're vegetarians, so obviously they don't eat meat. So I felt like, now normally when I've travelled with England and GB and stuff, I don't really touch the meat that much when I'm out. I just feel a bit on edge, especially because I'm fighting. You don't really want to upset stomach and all that. So when I was actually there and they weren't trying the meat, I felt like I kind of had to, because I was a bit like, well, someone needs to see if this is good or not. Obviously, like the street food and stuff I'm talking about. So normally I wouldn't actually do that. Stepped out my comfort zone a little bit in doing that. But do you know what? It was actually unreal. Yeah, I loved it. And like I said, that's not something that I'd actually do, because I'd be a bit, be a bit scared about getting an upset stomach, obviously being away from home and stuff like that. But yeah, that was nice. But food, it was all right. It was all right. I tried to step out my comfort zone, like I've just said, but there's only so much you can kind of stomach. I'm not a fuss eater, but I will try things. But I kind of I like my English food better, to be honest.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. But yeah, back to the boxing as well. Obviously, you go on about the traditional route and you want to be active and all the rest of it. But things that are cropping up at the moment is the misfits cards and stuff. And I'm asking everyone, and everyone has said no so far. So you may say something different. Would you ever be tempted to go on a misfits card at all?
Yeah.
For the money, that's it.
Yeah, not yet. I'm just thinking, because to be honest, I haven't watched any of the shows. So I'd say no, but I don't really know how far the shows. I've just heard things. From the shows, and actually, no, thinking about it now, no. I've seen some of the clips. No, I wouldn't be doing myself justice. No, the answer's no.
And finally then, in terms of your next fight, what can we expect?
Just a good performance, building on from your last one. I was pleased with, the stuff we were working on, and the progression. And I'm just looking to build on that really in my next fight.
Chloe, thanks all to Boxing Social. We'll let you get back home and rest after today's S&Cs, but thanks again.